From the silken balcony above a quiet world, I breathe a sky laced in gold. The dusk drapes softly over the marble arches of home, yet even royalty feels the hush of solitude. I am Leonor, not just of crown and blood, but of beating heart and dreams untold. In the hush of twilight, I remember you, not in grand parades or whispered court tales, but in the secret language of my soul, written in every glance we shared. Not every story is a war won, or a throne defended. Some are quieter, two hands brushing beside a garden, eyes meeting like old stars, colliding in fate's slow orbit. There, behind every formal smile and measured word, my heart stitched itself to yours, thread by unseen thread. The world may not notice. They see diplomacy and duty, but they do not know how I repeat your name in thought, like a prayer I was never taught. They will never hear how your voice lingers in the walls of every quiet chamber I walk through, but I do. I feel us everywhere. I remember the first time you looked at me like I was not made of protocol, like I was not born from tradition, but sculpted from wild earth and possibility. And I, taught to walk like legacy, felt suddenly like a girl again. You made me forget my titles for a moment and remember my name, Leonor, just Leonor. You said it softly, reverently, and I could feel my own breath catching, as if I were meeting myself through your eyes. We didn't speak of it then. The court was busy with ceremony and advisors shadowed every step. Yet within the bustle, your glance tethered me to something real. The way you listened with your eyes before I even spoke, as though you already knew the stories I was afraid to say aloud, wove safety into every silence between us. You smiled like the world could be simple, even if we were not. And I smiled back, knowing that even if I was promised to nations, my soul had chosen a different pledge, quiet and unspoken, but unshakably true. We are threaded together in ways no fabric of state can unravel. 1,000 stitches sewn from memories we never announced. A shared laugh behind a gilded curtain, the warmth of your hand near mine, beneath the candlelight of a diplomatic dinner, the echo of your steps behind me when I thought I was alone. In the tapestry of my days, you are the color that refuses to fade. The press will never write of it. They will chase louder loves and scandalous stories, not knowing that the most dangerous rebellion I ever entertained was loving you in silence. And yet in that rebellion, I have found the freest version of myself. Not the air, not the image, but the young woman who, beneath silk gowns and scripted speeches, wants only one thing: to walk into a room and find you already waiting. To belong somewhere not by right, but by choice. If love were diplomacy, we'd be allies by now. But ours is not formal. It is wild and rooted. No treaty, no oath, just the quiet defiance of hearts aligning. Do you remember the garden where it began to feel real? The one tucked behind the southern wing, where roses grow without needing permission. That's where I dared to speak with my eyes, what my lips could not utter. The court was full of lenses and whispers, but there the only witnesses were the petals falling like confessions between us. I looked at you and saw more than a boy. I saw a mirror of the future I wished for, but could never write. And you looked at me like I wasn't bound by bloodlines or duty, but made to be cherished. In that moment the monarchy fell away. I wasn't Spain's daughter, I was yours. I pressed a flower into your palm, and though I said nothing, I prayed you'd understand. Keep this, keep me, and still you do. Even now when we stand countries apart, that garden breathes between us. I visit it still, under pretense or duty, just to feel the echo of where our story bloomed, unacknowledged, yet unforgettable. And the roses bloom again each spring, as if they remember too. There are days when I am not sure if I imagined you, days when my world becomes marble cold and crown heavy. They teach me to hold poise like a sword, to speak with the weight of centuries behind every word. And yet when I lie beneath the canopy of my canopy bed, and silence wraps around me like a question, it is your face I conjure, your laugh, not rehearsed but real, your hands, not grasping but giving. There is a comfort in memory that palace walls cannot match. I dream of a world where I can be with you, without hiding, without crafting alibis from diplomacy. But I am learning, slowly, that even hidden love leaves its marks. It sculpts the way I carry myself, with the softness of being known. You knew me before I wore the world's gaze, like a second skin. And because of that I carry you with me in every curtsy, every ribbon in my braid, every glance I steal toward the door, hoping fate might open it again. Some loves are loud, ours is a thread pulled through history's hem, silent yet impossible to unpick. I wonder, in another time, would we have met in the open? Would I have run to you, barefoot and laughing, through olive groves and summer wind? But we do not live in poetry, we live in palaces. Still, I take your name with me the way a poet takes a pen. Ready, reverent, necessary. If I never speak our love aloud, it is not because it isn't true. It is because it is too true, too pure to be parsed by public eye. I watch you sometimes from afar, your path winding its own way, noble and honest, and I wonder if you feel it still, that gentle tether, that invisible vow. If I could, I'd speak it into your ear tonight under the stars we both still sleep beneath. You were the first to love me not as a princess but as a person, and that above all is the throne I return to when the world grows too tall. Tonight I write with moonlight bleeding onto this page, the ink almost trembling beneath the truth it holds. No one sees this side of me. They see the air, the poised speaker, the girl trained to hold her heart, like a chalice for the people to drink from. But you never drank from it. You cradled it, protected it. You saw me and did not ask me to be less or more, only real. What a dangerous gift in a world that asks for masks. I once feared love would distract me from my duty, but I have learned it deepens it. Because of you I understand what it means to care for something beyond yourself. You taught me that love is not abandonment of responsibility. It is its most honest form, and if the path I walk never again crosses yours, know this, you have already shaped a queen. I will become, not with power but with presence, not with promises, but with presence that never left, even in silence. Do you ever wonder what our lives might look like beyond this orbit of obligation? Sometimes I imagine us in a small home, far from the thrones and a place where I can wear linen and run my hands through the soil of a garden that is ours, where the only audience to our love is the sunrise and the soft clink of teacups. I dream of that sometimes, not as escape, but as a reminder that even royalty is human, that I am human, and that being loved quietly, deeply, fully, is perhaps the only real crown I've ever wanted. I know we cannot abandon who we are. You would never ask me to. But I also know that if my life must be stitched to history, I want your thread woven through it. I want your laughter buried in my memory like gold. I want your kindness written into my legacy. So even if the world forgets, even if no painting or plaque recalls your name, I will remember. I will carry your heart like a crest inside mine. If I could say all this to you, I would not use grand gestures. I would not send letters on crested parchment or roses with royal seals. I would come to you simply, with no title but my name, and say, I have loved you from the quiet corners of palaces. I have loved you in the pauses between speeches. I have loved you beneath silk veils and behind closed doors. And though I may never be allowed to speak it with the volume it deserves, I will always feel it. You are my thread, the one that binds me, not just to a past but to a hope. And maybe that's all love really is. Not a crown, not a ceremony, but a thread, delicate, defiant, enduring, stitched between two hearts who dared to see each other through all the layers. You saw me, Leonor, without a fanfare, and because of that, no matter where the world takes me, I will always return to you, in memory, in spirit, in the quiet that only you could fill.